Assalamualaikum dear students. As you know, we are doing with lesson number 5, surface chemistry. Today we are going to do the last topics of the chapter as a revision. Still, if you have any doubts, please student ask those doubts, clarify it, and you can just go for the next chapter then. I tried my best to explain this chapter twice to you. First, complete the chapter, then we are done with the revision. So still if you have any doubts, please clarify it as soon as possible. Okay, so today we are starting with the topic charge on the colloidal particles. Now dear student, we know that stability of the colloidal particle is because of the charge present on it. So the question may arise over here that how the charges are there, the charge particles are there on the colloidal particles. Colloidal particles पे charges कैसे allot होते हैं. Okay, so for that we are going to study today. So dear student, the colloidal particle develop the charge due to the following reason. There may be so many reasons for having the charges on the colloidal particles. So it may be one or another. The first reason, electron captured by the solar particles during the electrodispersion of metal. Now dear student, this point simply means that when you are having your colloidal solution, so when you are going to talk about the metals present over there here, so metals which are present, what they are going to do, on the surface they capture the electron. When they capture the electron on the surface, we can say that this is the charge developed on the particle. So because of the metal, as you know, metal is always in the positive charge, so they can go for accommodation of the electrons on. When the electrons are captured on the surface, we can say that this is the because of this charge, the particle is having the negative charge waves. Okay, so इलेक्ट्रॉन कैप्चर्ड बाय द सोल, आपका सॉल्यूशन जो है उसने इलेक्ट्रॉन को कैप्चर कर लिया है ड्यूरिंग द इलेक्ट्रोडिस्पर्जन की टाइम पे उसने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को कैप्चर कर लिया है, तो वहां पर चार्जेस होंगे. सेकेंड रीजन, ड्यू टू द प्रेफरेंशियल एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ आयंस फ्रॉम द सॉल्यूशन. नाउ डियर स्टूडेंट, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द फर्स्ट पॉइंट एंड द सेकेंड पॉइंट. फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज क्लियरली सेइंग दैट वाइल इलेक्ट्रोडिस्पर्जन, जब आपके सॉल्यूशन में इलेक्ट्रोडिस्पर्जन होता है तो आपका जो भी मेटल सॉल्यूशन में प्रेजेंट है, इट इज कैप्चरिंग द इलेक्ट्रॉन, ओनली इलेक्ट्रॉन, इट इज क्लियरली स्पेसिफाइंग. बट व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट द सेकंड रीजन व्हाई देयर आर द चार्जेस, दे यूज्ड टू से दैट पार्टिकल, which particle? Your colloidal particle. Your colloidal particle is absorbing the ions. When it says ions, it may be positive, it may be negative. Either it can be it can be positive charge absorbed on the surface, it can be negative charge absorbed on the surface. So depending on this particular, your colloidal will be named as positively charged colloid or negatively charged colloid. So there is one reason, capturing of the electron. Second reason, capturing of the ions, capturing absorption of the ions on the surface. Third reason, due to the formation of electrical double layer. Due to the formation of electrical double layer, suppose you are having any one particular particle and suppose it is absorbing the negative charge on its surface. So dear student, what is going to happen it over here? When you are going to have the negative charge, this is your first layer. Now as your first layer is negative, from the solution which particulate is going to absorb on the surface? Positive. Are you getting? So this is your first layer, this is your second layer. So you can say that because of the electrical double layer, there are the charges on the particles. Particles के ऊपर charges तीन वजह से होते हैं. Either it captures the electrons, either it captures the ions, it may be positive, negative, and either it may be the double layer formation. So because of these three particular reasons, there are the charges on the surface of your particle. I hope you are getting the point. Second thing, particles, precipitation of the colloidal particles. So we need to know that what are the reasons, yeah, you can say that what are the factors because of which we are able to coagulate or precipitate the colloidal particles. Very simple. First of all, you need to understand that suppose I am having the X as my particular any colloidal particle, and suppose it is having the negative charge on it, because of which it is stable. So when I am going to add Y, this is another colloidal particle, and if it is going to have X, what is going to happen? This is going to get neutralized with each other. Plus minus cancels the charges of each other, and these two are going to lose charge. When they are going to lose the charge, X will be coming out simply. Similarly, Y will be coming out simply. These are precipitate. These are precipitate. So these are also called the coagulation. So dear student, there are the certain reasons. As we can say, the first reason that this is your one particular colloid. X is your colloid. But what is Y? Electrolyte. Okay. So when you are having one particular colloid and when you are using the oppositely charged electrolyte, what will happen? Coagulation will happen, or you can say precipitation can be happen. So this is the one reason, or you can say this is the one method by which you can go for coagulation. आप coagulation कर सकते हो. There are the different methods which we are going to see. But basically try to understand that whenever your colloidal particle loses the charge, whatever the charge, it may be positive, it may be negative. When the charge has been lost from it, the particle will come down in the form of the colloids or coagulation, or as you can say precipitate. So it can be coming together, which is we call as a lump formation. So basically what is the thing? It should lose the charge. So how it is losing the charge? First method, by adding the oppositely charged electrolyte. आपका जैसा colloid है उसके हिसाब से oppositely charged electrolyte अगर हम डालेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? Coagulation हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Another method, that is, this is your first method. Second method, electrophoresis. Now dear student, what is electrophoresis? In electrophoresis you are using the oppositely charged tubes. As you know, in this one it is a solution present over here, and here there is any particular particle which is having negative charge. So what is happening? There is one plate which is positive charge, there is one plate which is negative charge. So in this case what will happen? Your particles will start moving towards your positive charge, and negative will be losing the positive over there. So what will coming down? The coming down particle will be your M. So this is the way it can coagulate, or we can say precipitate. So dear student, causes addition of the electrolyte. Addition of the electrolyte. आप electrolyte ऐड करोगे तो भी वो क्या हो जाएगा? Coagulation हो जाएगा. Electrophoresis. That is what we have seen. Electrophoresis करने से भी coagulation हो जाएगा. Boiling. Now dear student, something very important. When you are taking the colloid and when you are boiling it, what will happen? The particles will be, the particles will be bombarded on the vessel very fast. When it is having too much collision, बहुत ज़्यादा collision हो रहा है, एक दूसरे से धक्का लगना इतना ज़्यादा हो रहा है that they are losing the charge. When they are losing the charge, again the particles will be coming down. The particles will be coming down in the form of your precipitates, we can say. So it will be visible, we can see those particles. Fine. And the last one, as we say, they are mixing the oppositely charged electrode. एक चीज समझ लो, आप क्या कर रहे हो? एक जो है उसमें colloid में इलेक्ट्रोलाइट डाल रहे हो, ठीक है? सेकंड कर रहे हो इलेक्ट्रोफोरेसिस. थर्ड क्या कर रहे हो? Boiling, ठीक है? When you are doing the boiling, then what you are doing? You are mixing the oppositely charged electrolyte. When you are using the oppositely charged electrolytes, or you can say sols. एक सोल आपका positively charged, एक सोल आपका negatively charged. So that is what happening it over here, that they are losing the charges and they are completely having the particulate forms. So because of this we can go for coagulation or precipitation. Dear student, next is very important topic, that is Hardy-Swizzle rule. Dear student, what do you understand by the Hardy-Swizzle rule? Hardy-Swizzle rule is giving you the idea that greater is the number of your charge. Greater is the number of your charge. Greater the charge, less the amount is used. What does this mean? What does this simply means over here? Suppose you are having your any particular particle, like you go for having AgCl. AgCl is your particle, and on this particle you are having Cl minus ions. Cl minus ions. Now this is your colloid. Now you want to add particular ions, because of which the precipitation takes place. Okay. Now suppose you go for having. Okay. Now try to understand. Cl is having one charge. Cl minus is having one charge. Na plus is having one charge. So when you take Na, when you are taking sodium, how many sodiums will be required to go for removal of 3 Cl minus ion? आपको कितने सोडियम यूज करने पड़ेंगे? 3 sodiums. 3 sodiums will be removing the particular charges over here and will be neutralized, and your AgCl will be coming down as a precipitate. To be understood? Okay. Suppose you don't have suppose you are not using the sodium, you are using Ca. When you are using Ca, that is calcium, how many Cl ions can be accommodated by one single Ca, that is calcium? That is 2 chlorines. Are you getting? 2 chlorines can be, because this is going to give plus 2 charge. सोडियम एक ही इलेक्ट्रॉन दे सकता है, इसलिए 3 यूज होंगे. क्लोरीन 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन दे सकता है, इसलिए 2 Cl सेटिस्फाई हो गए, एक बाकी रहा. बट अमाउंट कितना लिया है हमने? ओनली 1. सो सपोज वी टेक 2 Ca, it means it is going to remove 4 particles. What about the aluminium? If we take aluminium, 1 aluminium, 1, 2, 3, all the 3 particles can be satisfied by one single aluminium. Dear student, are you getting? Greater the charge, जितना बड़ा charge, उतना less amount, जितना छोटा charge, plus only 1, so उतना ज़्यादा amount. Are you getting? This is known as Twiddle-Hardy rule or precipitation rule. So when you are reading it in a textbook or you are doing by your own, sometimes you are getting confused that what does this rule actually means? क्या कहना चाहता है? So when you are getting confused, I am making it more clear that greater the charge, lesser will be the amount. जितना बड़ा चार्ज होगा उतना उसे कम यूज करना पड़ेगा. This is actually your Swizzle-Hardy rule. I am just reading it. Greater the valence means your charge. Okay. Greater the valence of the coagulation ion added to the soil, the greater is its power to precipitate. जितना बड़ा चार्ज है उतना वो पावर रखता है प्रेसिपिटेशन करने का. Okay. The coagulation power of some of the cation is in the order aluminium is greater than calcium is greater than sodium. You can also replace it over here as a aluminium is greater than barium is greater than sodium. That is to be common sense used over here. If you are using this one, lesser will be the amount used. If you are using this one, little bit more you have to use it. If you are using sodium, you have to use large amount. Are you getting? So greater is the charge, greater is the precipitation taking place. Is it clear? Okay. coagulation value of an electrolyte. This is the next topic, dear student. Coagulating the value of an electrolyte. The minimum concentration of the electrolyte in millimoles per liter required to cause precipitation of the sole in 2 hours. So this is nothing, this is not of your use, I could say that. Fine. After this, let me tell you there is one more important topic, emulsion. But emulsion is removed from your chapter. Means for this year, when you are going to give the appear for the exam, emulsion topic is removed. So you need not to go for doing the emulsions, as I have skipped out this topic as we don't have this in our syllabus. After this, dear students, something very important which you need to remember is your dear student, the last thing which you need to remember, that is the uses, or you can say application of the colloids. Application of the colloid is an important topic, and you have to go with the use of your this one also, that is colloids in our surroundings. So the topic which I have already taken in your syllabus, and I have explained that one. So there are certain, what we can say, examples in our surrounding which are colloids. Suppose we take milk, so milk is a colloid. Suppose we talk about the blood, so blood is also the colloid. Let me tell you, the blood is containing the albuminoid. Albuminoid is a positively charged, negatively charged. So when you are using the alum is a positive charge. So when you are using the alum on anywhere where the blood is coming out, it will form the coagulation because it is containing the opposite charge. So there will be the precipitation taking place, and that area will be blocked. So we can say that the blood is also the colloidal form. The delta formed in the river, that is also the colloidal forms. We can say the sky appears blue because of the colloidal form. So we can say that the water droplets which are present over there, and when the light is coming over there, what happens generally? It is scattering the light which is having the wavelength of particular that is scattered more, that is blue color. And because of scattering the blue light, we are able blue color in the white light, we are able to see that the sky is blue. So that is again the colloidal form. And yes, as I told you, that milk is a colloidal form, butter is a colloidal form. There are various examples which we have already taken as a colloids. So you have to go with the application, and the application means the uses, and you have to see that which are the colloids in our surrounding. Now let me tell you, here the chapter is over. आपका surface chemistry scoring chapter है, because totally theoretical based है. So please kindly do it properly. And next we are going to start. I am planning to start with the organic chemistry, because many students are asking the doubts for the organic chemistry. So next we can start with the organic chemistry also. And let me tell you, organic chemistry, when I am going to start, I may go for taking the questions which are important one, and we can start with the certain reactions which are the preparation or the properties. So be prepared for it, and still as I said that still if you have any doubts in this particular, you can ask me in the comment section.